friends! A couple of days ago I started reading From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and then I realized like 5 minutes ago that I wanted to film a reading vlog. Even though I'm not entirely sure how reading vlogs go, I've watched a few of them and I know you just film you reading it and like your thoughts throughout the book. I want to have a whole reading vlog for both From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, so I'll probably read them back to back. If you watched my March TBR, I had these on there, so I'm trying to smash both of them out at the beginning of March to get me going, because I know I'm gonna like it, because my genre is very much fantasy, romancy, and that is exactly what this is. This is a little bit of an experimental video because obviously I've never filmed a reading vlog, and I think I had one person suggest that I should film reading vlogs, or maybe a couple, and to be honest it's a good idea since I do want to read more, and I feel like filming a reading vlog will give me a little bit more of an incentive to read, which is really bad because I should just be reading anyways. But you know, sometimes I need a little bit of motivation to get through these thick books, so. Hi friends! So, it's the 6th of March. It's a Saturday, yeah, so it's the 6th of March today, and my brother has a football tournament, so I'm going to watch that, and I also have to do some other things like try on a ball dress, which is really fun. Fit check. Anyways, so I packed From Blood and Ash, there she is, so I'm gonna be reading that because I think where we're going is around an hour away, and I love to read in the car with my with listening to music. Hey guys! So I'm currently on page 494. I have only this much to go, and I did just read the spicy scene, and yes, I'm outside because the lighting inside is really bad and this lighting is good. I realized that I haven't been updating you while I've been reading. I have lots of thoughts. I'm gonna go into a little deep dive when I finish the book, but yeah. Look at the sky, it's so pretty. Hi! So, today's the 8th of March and I finally started the second, well, I say finally like it's been a long time, but I finished From Blood and Ash last night, and I filmed myself when some of the little twists happened. The camera wasn't like straight, it was kind of annoying me. Anyways, so I filmed myself reacting to the book when some things happened. I like flipped up my camera and I was like, you know? So yeah, From Blood and Ash is currently on my shelf right there, and I started reading A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire today, and I'm currently on page 70. So I've only read this much of the book and then all that. A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire has been really good so far. I'm liking the writing style. I also went online today and tried to see if I can buy the 3rd book, but it's not out. I'm going to discuss a couple spoilers from the book From Blood and Ash, so if you have not read From Blood and Ash yet, you should probably skip to the timestamp on the screen. Okay, so first of all, the main thing that really made me, you know, like shocked was the whole identity thing, and how Hawke was actually Prince Castile the whole time. I think that's how you say his name, Castile, Prince Castile, Prince Castile, I think it's Prince Castile. Anyways, I'm gonna say that If I'm wrong, let me know. I think it's Prince Castile, but anyways, I'll just say Cass because that's easier. I literally should have seen it coming. Like all I can't even form a sentence because I'm so annoyed at myself, but like not really because it's a book, but I don't know, Jennifer is just really clever. When she writes her books, it's like obviously you have to plan your book out before you write it, but she just does all these little things that you don't really take notice of and you're like, it's probably just cuz, and then it turns out to actually be important, and then you start putting everything together and you're like, wow, how did I not pick up on that? Like him moving incredibly fast, how he's really super strong, and how he talks about how he lived for hundreds of years even though he could only be in his early 20s, and how he could see in the dark like much better compared to Poppy, and Poppy was always like, oh no, my eyesight's just really bad compared to his probably. I just didn't put any of it together. I had my suspicions that Hawke was a dissenter and that he didn't support the Ascended and stuff like that. Like I had a feeling because of the way that he would like question everything that Poppy believed and like helped her. I don't want to say that he helped her become independent because she was already very independent and she don't need no man to be independent, but still he kind of helped her. Also, when they went into the barn and I think it was Phillips, one of the guards, Phillips, was like, something's wrong, we have to like get out of here, and then Poppy is following the guard Phillips, and then Hawke comes in and then he shoots Phillips, and I literally felt so betrayed. I was like, are you kidding me? I literally thought Jennifer was going to make Hawke into like a bad guy. Not that that would make me fall for him any less, but still I thought that he was gonna go full bad guy and that they weren't going to, you know, I don't know, possibly be together anymore, because obviously they're on two different sides of this world. And then we got told that he was actually the prince, and as soon as I put it together, like I figured it out before Poppy figured it out, like a couple pages before, and I literally had to close the book. I had to do that many times during this book, because not because of anything bad, but because I simply could not deal with it. The whole time Poppy's pet name was literally Princess, and to be honest, I kind of cringe, but I mean, I guess it kind of works. It was still kind of cringe, but I will look past that simply because Hawke is Hawke. Anyways. And I was like, well, obviously he's calling her Princess because he is the prince. It clicked in my head, and I was like, are you kidding me? How did I not put two and two together until the end of the book? And that's something that I really loved about From Blood and Ash, is that my brain is very active. Like, I'm always analysing things for some reason, and the fact that I couldn't put it together, like, not saying that I'm the smartest person in the world, but because the fact that I couldn't put the two and two together and figure out the ending was really surprising, because usually all the books that I read are slightly disappointing because I always figure out the ending. Like, for example, Shadow and Bone, I figured out the ending way before, maybe like halfway through I figured it out, and then I kept reading and then nothing really was like exciting for me. It was still a good book, but I just, you know, I predicted it, and that just takes away a big part of the excitement of the book for me. But the fact that I couldn't even figure out From Blood and Ash until the very end was so good. Like, that is the reason why it was a 5 stars, full 5 stars. Also, among other things, like, the plot isn't just the reason for 5 stars. I also kind of like some of the characters from Hawke's party, specifically Kieran, and I think this goes more into the second book. But I've only read 70 pages of the second book, so I can't really speak too much about that because my opinion might change. There's lots of twists and turns. The whole marriage thing at the very end, Hawke, well, I keep saying Hawke, Cass was like, we're going back to Atlantia to marry. I was like, oh my goodness, we saw it coming. Him calling her princess, he's a prince, blah blah blah. And then I always mention this in all of my book related videos, but if you want to see my reviews of these books, a small review or a big review depending on how I feel about the book, they're on my Goodreads, which I'll have on the screen somewhere, and I also have it down below in the description so you can click on the link. So yeah, I leave a review for all the books that I read, and you can also see my star ratings and then all the previous books that I've also read in the year. From Blood and Ash is a very enemies to lovers moment, and it literally continues into A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, even though they have obvious feelings for each other, and there are those scenes, you know, the scenes, so you know, thrive in that. I want to talk a little bit about Poppy, Penelope. I really love her character, and I feel like sometimes characters that are like feisty and like, you know, don't follow authority can sometimes get like a little bit over the top, in my opinion, and then the writing can kind of become a little bit cringy with the comebacks. But the banter between the Poppy and Hawk, Cass, well, actually I'm gonna say Hawk because Hawk that's what he's called for majority of the first book. So yeah, the banter between Poppy and Hawk is really natural. They have great chemistry. I'm just really sad that I'm not going to have the third book to read after I finish the second book. I'm going to get straight into A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire today. I'm going to hope to at least get to 100 pages. I kind of have a bittersweet relationship at the moment with this book because I really want to read it because of course I'm loving the whole series and I just want to see more of the characters and see where the story goes, but I also don't want to read it because once I've read it then I can't read it like for the first time again, and then I won't have the third one. It's just such a struggle, but yeah, so that is my plans for the rest of the night. So yeah, I'll keep you updated and I will see you later. So before I start reading, I just want to show you the map in the book. The first book, well, my copy or edition didn't have a map in it, so I had to kind of imagine everything by myself. You can't really see it because it's a bit dark. I'm really excited that there's one in here. I can finally see all the different places in the story and imagine them going through all the different provinces, I guess. But yeah. I'm gonna start reading now and stop talking because I don't have a lot of time until I have to go to sleep. Hey, it's me again. That was so musical. Anyways, it's currently 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock, and I tried to film a room tour and it got dark and then half the video was in darkness, and I realized, well, I can't upload this now because it's not good quality, and I got annoyed, and so I wasted my afternoon filming when I could have been reading. Anyways, now I'm gonna read. That's basically, you know, the moral of the story is to not waste your time and just read anyways. I currently have read past halfway. I read majority of the day today since I had basically free classes all day today. I say that very loosely because I was meant to be doing work, but was I? No, I was reading. I made a poll today on my Instagram and I asked my followers if I should start a little The Art of Paris book club. I don't know, I feel like the name isn't going to be The Art of Paris. It is still dark, but it's the mood. Since what we're going to be discussing is very steamy, it fits just right. Another warning, if you haven't read A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire yet, please skip to the timestamp on the video. We are going to be discussing the part where Castile needs to feed and he feeds off Poppy. Now that's not a problem. I understand that Atlanteans have their like traditions and whatever, but the joining, to each their own. I'm not judging, but like it was just a big caught off guard. I had no words. When I read it I was like, excuse me, what? But yeah. You know what? I think I mean, it's okay. I kind of had mixed feelings at the beginning. I was like, that's kind of weird, but when I learnt that Poppy could perhaps be immortal one day without becoming a vampire, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, if they wanted to do that, bring it on. I'll read it. It was so steamy. And the fact that Kieran was behind her the whole time, checking her pulse, and they were going, you know, they would do, if you read it, you know, so I don't really need to explain it because I'll get demonetized. But yeah, it was just like, I understand. I do understand, but, and it was, I mean, nothing I can really fault about it because, Poppy did say, she was like, I felt ashamed and embarrassed, like, that he was behind, and I was like, yeah, queen. Yeah. I'm really loving the progression of Poppy and Castile's relationship. Like, Poppy is starting to accept the fact that she actually does care for him and she actually might want a future with him. And it's making my heart so happy. Okay, anyways, continuing on. Oh my gosh, so much is going on here. There, you just witnessed me in real time reading a spicy scene. And what I do when I am surprised, I literally just close the book and I'm like, what? And then I go back. You know, it's my little break. Sometimes you need little breaks. So yeah, I'll be back soon. I'm gonna read and then I'll see y'all soon. Okay, see you soon. Hi friends, it's me again. So I don't know what date it is. It is currently the 14th of March. And last night I said I was gonna finish this book, right? And I got to page 580. There's only like around 50 pages left. And I got really tired, so I went to bed. But it is now, I think, around 4 o'clock the next day. I had to go out and do some things, but I'm back. I'm finally gonna read and finish the book. And yes, I'm back in my reading outfit. I do only own one crew neck jumper. This is, you know, my favorite item of clothing. I wear it all the time. Yeah, except I changed up my shorts today. We have this beautiful plaid moment. I'm gonna read, I'm gonna film my whole reaction to reading the last 50 pages. See, I wanted to also film my reaction, but last night I couldn't really speak loudly because it was like 11:30 by the time I got to this point, and also because it was dark in my room. So now I'm gonna read, we're gonna do it, finish this book, finish this reading vlog. I have my ceramic dad cup full of ice and water, you know, my fave beverage to drink when I'm reading. I'm kind of nervous to finish this book because, as I've said multiple times, there's not going to be another book in the series to read until I get my hands on the third one. But there's really no turning back now with this much left, so me and my friends. My makeup's kind of good today. I'm getting very like, belly vibes only. Anyways. Oh my god, what? I don't want to spoil it because I'm gonna do a little discussion of this book just like I did with the first book after I finish this. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for the scenes. My neck hurts from looking down at the book, but then when I lift my hands up to hold the book up, my wrists hurt. I can't win. Come again? Oh my god, why was that so cute? He did not just call her that. Oh, this bitch. Oh my god, this is so annoying. What the hell is happening? Oh my god, I love Poppy. What? What is going on? I'm on the last page. What is going on? Also, I have to cover the end of the book with my hand because sometimes I get like too excited and I look at the bottom and I spoil the whole book. Well, not spoil the whole book, but you know what I mean. Like I spoil the ending and I don't read all of it. So that's what I have to do right now. What? What just happened? I need the third book right now. What? What do you mean it's finished? What do you mean? Wow. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I'm going to solidify my thoughts. I will come back and we will discuss the second book in the Blood and Ash series, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I need a moment. We need to discuss The Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. This book is easily my favorite book that I've read this year, maybe my whole life. If I could give it like 1,000 stars, I would. Well, okay. Let's not go too overboard. Obviously, there are some things that I wasn't about, not my fave, but A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire was definitely better than From Blood and Ash. Like, oh my goodness, my heart. No words, once again. Just like when I was talking about From Blood and Ash, no words. I love this book, like, so much. But once again, I have many tabs whenever I find a page interesting, or there are certain like categories that I tag the pages for. I'll just dog ear the page like this. So I have dog ears at the top, which mean a certain thing, and then dog ears at the bottom that mean a certain thing. I have tags all across the top and all across the bottom. just moments that I particularly like or I think are important, and then I want to maybe revisit one day later if I go into an in-depth review, or just if one day I'm flicking through the book and I want to find a certain scene, you know, reminisce. Skip to the timestamp on the screen if you haven't read it. But yeah, we need to discuss right now. One thing that I didn't particularly like but I didn't mind was a lot of explaining happened in this book. You come from Blood and Ash and you think, wow, I don't know if things could get like any worse really, like she's already shackled and whatever, like she can't really do much, and you think the plot in this one is like too overbearing, and then you get to this book and you're like, wow, we just took it a notch up, in my opinion. Of course our opinions will differ, but I love this book so much. There were many chapters that were just full of information, like they just, like Jen just information about politics, history, characters, plot, so much. At the beginning it was kind of overwhelming because I was like, wow, so much information, new book, adult book, lots of stuff, new plot, new characters, and I couldn't, you know. But since there was so much explaining and just kept jamming into my head, now I know every single thing about this world, about every character, about all the bloodlines, about all the gods where they sleep. I know I know who's in relation to who. It's great now. I didn't really like it that much at first, but I appreciate it now because now it's solidified everything that I know about the Blood and Ash world. I feel like we should probably point out the obvious. We'll just go straight to the end of the book. The fact that Poppy is like now equivalent to a god basically. Like everyone, even the queen and king of Atlantia, bowed to her, and the queen, she literally took off her crown and was like, here you go, everyone bow, she is the queen now. And I was like, stop. Like, as if we didn't think that Poppy could be more chosen, she literally became a god. And you know what? I'm not mad at it. I love Poppy. Penelope Poppy, she's my fave. Another thing I really like is the use of Kieran's character and the relationship that Kieran forms with Poppy. I think it's fun to see their banter as well, so we don't just get to see banter between the enemies and lovers, but we also get to see the banter between like the bonded of the enemy lover. So I think that's really cool. And all like the little scenes, like the joining, sleeping in the mountains before they get to Atlantia, stuff like that. Everything just amplified in the second book, and I'm really excited to see where everything goes, because she's literally God now. She has to run a kingdom and somehow defeat Solace and defeat the Ascendant, but also try not to provoke war and help the innocent and, you know, abolish what the Ascended do. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm really excited. I'm also really excited to one day see if Poppy and Cass actually say I love you to each other, because that was discussed at the end of the book. Poppy was thinking like, oh, I loved him, I thought he was gonna say I love you, but instead he said something else. I'll try and find it. He said, I'll come for you, and Poppy thought that he was gonna say I love you. And you know what? Character development. They literally hated it. Well, he didn't hate her. She hated him so much. Like, it was enemies to lovers to the extreme. Like, stab in the heart hate. Like, I hate you. And now she's saying, I love him. I'm gonna stop talking now because I feel like I'm just rambling and fangirling really hard over this series, so I'm gonna have to leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed me reading and discussing From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. If you want more reading vlogs like this, let me know, because I actually really enjoyed filming this video and smashing out 2 really thick books in one video. Haven't gotten to a reading slump yet, about to start Emperor in the Ashes like a champ. Everything's great. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video, friends. Bye!